Hi guys, I'm Erica and I'm going to be here talking about my VSG journey. I'll talk about the week before, actually a day of, and then my 1 week post-op. I'll tell you about what went on during that time and what all happened and how I was feeling. Um, the day of my surgery, um, so my surgery is supposed to be at 7:15, and it was at 7:15 in the morning. So I woke up around 6, and I was always gonna miss it because I told my sister 7:30, and I ended up checking like 5 minutes before 7:15, and then noticed that it was at 7:15. So we live right around the corner from the hospital I was having my surgery at. So she got me over there, and I checked in. Everything was fine. So once I checked in, they set me down in the waiting room for maybe about 20 minutes maybe. And then once they called me back, I went in and they asked me a couple of questions. They asked me what I was there for to make sure I was getting right surgery and who my doctor was. And then I got in, they told me to change. Actually, they told me to go to the restroom first to do a pee test. So I did the pee test and they told me to come back, get undressed, put your gown on and everything. So I did that, and um, they hooked my IV up. I think they gave me some medicine. No, they drew blood first, I think, or something. I forgot, but I think they drew blood. I think, but so what happened was they did all that basically, and I was getting so nervous because it was taking so long. The doctor had one person before me. I think I was the second person of the day. So it took about 3 hours to get back to the surgery area for me to start my procedure. So that was just like my anxiety was going up. It was through the roof. Um, I was just texting my family like still waiting, nervous because nobody can be in there with you. But they did allow visitors in the once you go upstairs. Once they admit you and you go upstairs, they allow visitors then. Um, but they don't allow visitors before the procedure. So after they finally called me back, I finally got inside the surgery room, and it was just anxiety up. There was a lady there who I guess she was just, I don't know, she like put her hand, she put pressure, accidentally put pressure on my IV side. Then she dropped my whole IV bag on the ground after they moved me from the bed that I was originally in onto the surgery table. It was just like making me nervous. Like, I don't know if she's new. I don't know if, she don't know what she's doing, but it was kind of scaring me. So, although my nutritionist and my doctor, they were there, so that made me more comfortable because my nutritionist, I saw her for 6 months, and a couple of other, we've been going back and forth through emails, talking. So that made me more comfortable that she was there. And then also, of course, my doctor who did the surgery, he was there, and I've talked to him twice or three times before, and also through email. So once I actually, so they put me to sleep, and then next thing I remember was waking up, and I was in excruciating pain. Like, the pain was so bad, it was terrible. All I could say was, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. I kept saying, help me, because the pain, it was like gas and pressure in the chest area, and it was horrible. I was like, why did I do this to myself? This is just stupid. It was so much pain at the time. And the person next to me, the nurse, was like telling me, oh, you're coming out of surgery. Basically, that there was nothing they can do about the pain, and just try to relax or something. But I was just like, I can't. It was just like, this pain is ridiculous. It's too much. So after that, I don't remember much after that. Maybe I might have fell back to sleep or something. But then the next thing I remember is they were willing me. I don't remember them actually willing me to my room, but I remember them finally getting to the door of my room, and then they're telling me, hey, wake up. We need you to walk to your bed. So then I was really drowsy at that time. And so I got up and I walked to my bed. My eyes were closed, and they kept telling me, no, you have to open your eyes so we can make sure you don't fall and you can see where you're going. So I opened up my eyes. I got in the bed and I think I was out. I don't know if I threw up a couple of times after I got in the bed, but I knew I was out. I was out. I think they called my sister around 12 something, telling her that I was out of surgery. I went back for surgery because my time was 7:15 to be there. It took them about 3 hours, 7, 8, 9. So about 10:03, I went back for surgery. So about 12 something, I was done. And so once I was done with that, I remember waking up and it was around 4 something. And then I was just like, this pain. I was nauseated. I just felt like, ugh, why? Why did I do this? This is horrible. So then later on, my sister came to visit around 5-ish because I think visiting time stopped at 6. So she came to visit me, and then she was just saying, just asked me how I was doing. All my family wanted to see me, so I talked to them, and then she ended up leaving. She stayed for about an hour, and then she ended up leaving because I was starting to get tired after that. I was like still tired and sleepy, and so I think they may have gave me some apple juice and some water, but I didn't drink. I don't think I drank anything, or no, I don't think I drank anything that first day. I think towards the night, once I woke up in the middle of the night, um, I was starting to drink a little bit, but it still, every time I took a small sip, it hurt. Um, and then it was like gas bubbles coming up when I did sip. And so it was just like making me more nauseated. I had like a little spit bag and I was vomiting and everything. It was just horrible the first day. And then I ended up getting up to walk because they told me we need you to walk. So I got up to walk, I think, once that first day. Once, maybe twice the first day. Then the second day, oh yeah, and then they gave me pain medicine because I guess I was due for it every 4 hours. And I was like, really asking, I'm like, I need my medicine. And she was like, oh, it's not time yet. And I'm like, I need it. So finally, it ended up giving me Dilaudid. And when I tell you that made me feel so good, it was the medication itself, just like such relief once it hits your system. It was just like, it was everything. And then they kept me on Zofran, which I think Zofran kind of helped and it kind of didn't, because the second day they ended up having to switch up my nausea medication because it wasn't really working as well. It was, I want to say it was on and off. So and I was still throwing up, and I was supposed to go home that second day. Supposed to go home, but I wasn't taking any fluids. And then when I was taking in fluids, I was vomiting, so, or dry heaving. And then they were like, you're not taking it enough, so we're not going to release you today. I was still in pain, but it wasn't as bad as the first day. So it was like a little like, and they told me you have to do at least 700 mLs, 700, I think, mLs or ounces before I could go home. So I was like thinking like, that was like far out of my, like, I was never going to reach it. How can I? This is just ridiculous. I'm never going to get out of this hospital. So then after they told me they were going to keep me the second day, the third day when I woke up, I was determined to leave. My sister called me, was like, you need to wake up, you need to stop sleeping, you need to get up and get to moving and drink so you can get out of the hospital and come home. Plus I had my daughter at home, and I told her that I was going to be home the day before yesterday. And then, so you know how kids are, they get to worry. And so I was like, yeah, I need to get up. And so I started walking, trying to walk more, going to the bathroom more, and then I was drinking. I was trying to stay on it. They gave me popsicles. They was like, maybe this will help you. And so I was doing the popsicles and stuff. And so I finally was able to get my fluids down. I want to say around 2 p.m. But they didn't release me till about 6:30 that night because they had to get all my discharge things done. My sister picked up my medication for me. And they sent me home with Norcos for pain, promethazine for nausea, Lovenox is an injection for it's a blood thinner. So you gets shot in your belly, and then that thins your blood so it won't cause any blood clots after. So I was on those medications and I think another one. So then when I went home, I was on a clear liquid diet for a week. So my clear liquid diet for a week. And so I basically had chicken broth. I had different type of broths. I had, what else did I have? I had popsicles and I had water, and I had my protein water, which is the Gatorade protein water, and Jello, but I really couldn't do the Jello. It kind of hurt going down too. So I kind of stayed away from the Jello. And so my first day home, it was all right. I was trying to walk around more to get rid of the gas pain, but then the following day, which I think is Thursday. So I went to hospital Monday, left Wednesday, and then Thursday, I was doing fine. I was trying to get my fluids in. At the time, I was only averaging about 6 cups, and they wanted me to do 8 cups. 8 cups or more a day. But I was only doing 6 cups and 6 cups of fluids. So I ended up was walking around. I started feeling a pain. So then I was like, let me go lay down, because maybe if I lay down, it'll like go away. So I laid down, tried to fall asleep. This pain it was getting worse. It was like, it was hurting bad. So then finally got to a point where it was so bad that I couldn't like breathe properly. And so that scared me. So I called my sister. She said that, so I told her, like, call my doctor, call the hospital. I need to go. Because my doctor told me, if you need to go to the ER or you feel any type of way, call me. They'll direct you to me. And if you need to go to the hospital, I'll meet you at the hospital. So I called the doctor's office. They didn't know like where my doctor was. They ended up locating him, but I couldn't talk to him. So I ended up going to the hospital. I got in there. My blood pressure was high, and they did an EKG and all these test works, and all my stuff came back good. I guess it was probably gas pain or muscle pain because I was hunched over and not walking properly. But they tried to do an IV. You're like, let's give you some fluids, and through IV. So then I had just got my IV out taking the day before yesterday. So I was just like, So the lady tried, she blew my vein, and then I was just like, you know what, I'll just go home and drink fluids. I'll try as best I can. So the doctor was like, okay, yeah, you could do that because all your other test results came back good. Then they wanted to give me pain medication. I was like, no, I don't really want any more from here. I'll just, because I thought it was going to make me nauseated. So I was like, I'll go home and I'll get my pain medication at home. So I just want to be, if I'm fine, if all my stuff is good, then I'll just go. So then they released me, went back home. So my sister was like, you're going to sit down and you're going to rest. Because when I got home from the hospital, I was warming up my soups, pouring my drink, getting my stuff, walking around and stuff. And she was like, no, you need to rest. So I lay down in bed for about 2 days. And I was getting some rest. And then I finally felt like, you know what, let me get up and do something. So the next day, I want to say, the reason why I'm looking down is because I have notes that I'm trying to stay on track of. Okay, so then I went to hospital Thursday. Friday, I stayed in bed, relaxed. Saturday, I stayed in the bed and I relaxed. I think Sunday, well, yeah, I would get up though and go to the front room and sit down though. I wouldn't stay in the bed all day. I'll get up and go in the front room and sit down and watch TV and, So then my family were having like pizza and spaghetti and stuff. And I was just like, like in my head, I feel like I could eat that. Like I want something. Like because the broth was not doing it for me. The liquids was not doing it for me. I was like, I want just a little bit of that. Let me just taste a little bit. Like, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I didn't do it, of course, because I would have been in a lot of pain. But I was really like ready for my second week to get here, which was Monday, because on Monday I could have pureed food. And I was just like, I was so ready for it. So I was just counting down the minutes, hours, seconds so I could have me some substance in my body. So Sunday had got here and I basically was just trying to see what could I eat, thinking about recipes for my puree diet. And then, yeah, that was it. So then Monday morning, I usually weigh myself Monday morning. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you my stats. I'm 5'6" and a half. So 5'7", 5'6" and a half. And I started, my highest weight was 270 at my appointment. So, at my, I want to say my appointment, my final appointment with my surgeon, I was 270 pounds. And so they put me on a 2-week diet. It wasn't a liquid diet, but it was like a restrictive diet. So I had to do basically 3 meals a day. I think like 2 to 3 ounces of protein, and then 1 to a half a cup to 1 cup of fruit or vegetables for 3 meals. And then a protein shake in between if I got hungry. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't stick to it 100% like I tried to do. I did do the protein and then the fruits or vegetables. But I kind of like cheated by having like that low calorie popcorn. It was like kettle corn, but it was like salty and sweet. Um, some type of low calories, low carb popcorn that they have. So I did have that to curb my sweet tooth. So I did cheat with that. But as for carbs, I didn't have any carbs or anything. And I kind of stick to it. I probably had more than 2 to 3 ounces of protein sometimes because I was hungry, but I stuck to the diet pretty well, I would say, for myself. And so I was 270 at my last surgical appointment with my doctor. And then after that, my first week of the pre-op, that following Monday, I lost, I think, 9.6 pounds. So went from 270 to 260.4. So I lost 9.6 pounds the first week of my pre-op diet. Then my second week of my pre-op diet, I lost 3 pounds. So I went from 260.4 to 257.4. So, and I weighed myself the day of the surgery. Now, when I went to the hospital for the surgery, they did not weigh me at all. Like, and even in my chart, it says that I'm like 230. I was not 230 at the hospital. Like, I don't know where they got those numbers from, but I wasn't 230. I was 270 and I went down to 260.4. Then I went down to 257.4. They never weighed me in the hospital, so I don't know where they got those numbers from. Then also, so after my first week post-op, I was, which I weighed myself that Monday before I ate. I got up, weighed myself. And I can tell you that the first week, when you wake up in the middle of the night, your stomach is on. Like, it feels like your stomach is touching your back because it is so empty. And then I just like literally, I felt so sick because my stomach was so empty. So I was learning to try and set an alarm to take a couple of sips, or but I noticed that once I woke up and I felt that way, I would take a couple of sips of my protein water or my regular water. And then after like maybe 1 ounce of water or a couple of sips of water, I'll start to feel better, and it wasn't as bad. So as the time went on, it did get better. The surgical site did hurt. The other stitches, it didn't really hurt, but the surgical site, it did. You can feel the pain. Like, coughing was kind of hard. Going to the bathroom took me about almost a week to have a bowel movement. And it was just like the pain in the stomach area. The pain wasn't so bad, and they also gave me a binder to hold me and feel more comfortable when I got up and walked. So that helped a lot too, the binder to wrap around. It's like a girdle, but it's not. It's like a binder for the medical. But they gave me that. So then my first week post-op, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but my first week post-op, I want to say I was 249.4. So that was about 8 pounds lost. My 1 week post-op, I lost 8 pounds. So, yeah. So I will give you guys another update for my second week. Once I'm done my second week, that is in a couple more days. So after that, I'll give you my second week update and my stats and everything. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.